400 acres of backlot out there, a full tank of gas. We all got 3D glasses. That's a party at my side of town. You don't actually have to wear the glasses right now. It's only 2 times you need them. And I do want to make sure you've got them. So let's do this. If you don't have a pair of 3D glasses, if you're not have a pair, put your hands in the air, keep them there, and I'll scale the side of this tram and personally deliver these to you. That's the kind of full service operation we're running here, folks. Looks like we're pretty well good through, though, fortunately for me. Now, veterans, people in the military, families thereof, thank you. People from out of town, welcome. Small children should be seated toward the center of the road away from the outside gates. 2019 marks the 55th anniversary of the studio tour, so thanks for coming out and celebrating that with us. Yeah, let's see if we can find a few more souls to join our little soul tram here, and then we'll saddle up and hit the road.
Well, there's this pirate. The problem most men have is they just plain straight up have no clue how to talk to women.
And I'm Andy, ladies and gentlemen, and we're out of here. Let's wave goodbye to those folks in the line. It's okay, this is Hollywood for all friends here. It's time to hit the road. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we get too far gone, I want to introduce you to my co-host for the afternoon, SNL alumni and host of The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon. You're never going to guess who it is.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure you get through this experience. You got the very best guy.
Andy.
And the greatest guy.
Christian. Andy. All right, dude. Safety rules. Safety rules. Ladies and gentlemen, if you need the assistance during the tour, if you have a medical emergency, if you drop something of value over the side, or if you have sound or video issues, just reach up and pull that red cord that runs down the center of the tram, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please remain seated, keeping your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. The studio is private property, guys. So at any time you drop your cell phone, you just can't wait to use the restroom, reach up and pull that red cord and remain seated. Good? All right, this one's kind of a no-brainer, ladies and gentlemen. No smoking of any kind. Sorry, Frank. And be prepared for loud noises. Fire effects, sudden tram movements, and the possibility of getting wet, so you keep your cameras protected. Now we've just turned down our Universal movie timeline. Now these original movie posters on either side of the tram are just a few examples of the more than 8,000 films we've made here over the last 100 years. Like this year's Oscar winner for Best Picture, Green Book, starring Ursula Ali and Viggo Mortensen. About to cross into our front lawn, guys, which houses our 28 sound stages. And these buildings we can create any environment a story demands. Great example coming up at the bottom of this hill, Soundstage 12. Currently home to the hit singing competition The Voice, with coaches Kelly Clarkson, Gwen Stefani, Blake Shelton, and John Legend. It's the largest soundstage on our lot, one of the largest in the world, where we've created some of the biggest sets and some of the biggest moments in movie history, like Frankenstein's Laboratory, Dracula's Castle, the Scarface Mansion, the Clock Tower from Back to the Future, the Visitor Center from Jurassic Park, the South Side of Whoville, and the best party Jon Favreau's ever been to. And that guy started out with swingers. So here's what the inside of an empty sound stage looks like, guys. About 75% of all the filming we do here at Universal is done in these sound stages we're driving past. Stage 19 over here on your left is where Steven Spielberg shot the kitchen scene from Jurassic Park, when the Hammond grandchildren are being hunted by the velociraptors. And right next door at Stage 18, recently shot in there, the series Dirty John with Eric Bana and Connie Britton. Love, deception, survival, Dirty John. Sign me up. Now each one of these sound stages has a little red light beside the door. We call it a wigwag light. And when it's red or when it's flashing, that's how I know the cameras are rolling. More importantly, that's how I know the recording sound. Which puts us in one of those quiet zones we were talking about, because they don't want my voice in the background in a big television show. Even though I think it would be cool. Hey, happy birthday. This parking structure over here on your left doubled as a massive cliff face for the Lost World Jurassic Park. And the T-Rex nudges the Mobile Lab over the edge, and Vince Vaughn, Julianne Moore, Jeff Goldblum beside. Great example of production design, and then a little bit later on I'll show you the Mobile Lab that actually got the nudge off of that cliff. The T-Rex, well, the T-Rex just waits till we get to Skull Island. But over the years we've taken audiences from the bottom of the ocean to the surface of the moon. We did so with help of Stage 21 over here on your left. It's where we built Mission Control for Ron Howard's Apollo 13. These days, 21 is home to the hit series Superstore, starring America Ferrera, Mark McKinney, and Ed Feldman. And coming up on your right, Stage 41 and 42, the series Good Girls, starring Christina Hendricks, Retta, and Mae Whitman. Ever since our first broadcast in 1939 here at World's Fair, we've got a long history of producing classic television shows. Many of them shot at various stages were riding past. Stage 44 over here on your right's been very busy lately. The hit comedy The Good Place, starring Ted Danson and Kristen Bell. And hey, speaking of famous Teds, take a look to your left. It's our first celebrity sighting right there. Looks like he's celebrating. Got a cocktail? Maybe on development field. These bungalows on your left house production offices for writers, directors, and producers who currently have development deals with the studio, like Chris Meledandri and the folks at Illumination Entertainment. Talk to Despicable Me and The Secret Life of Pets and Pets 2.
Every movie we make at Illumination, the heart of the film is defined by its characters. And with pets, their universality is undeniable. Working on a sequel, we can really strive for absolute discovery and freshness.
Stage 22 over here on your left has been very busy lately with the hit comedy The Good Place, starring Ted Danson and Kristen Bell. Actually, we just did that. Sorry, Stage 22. It's getting late, ladies and gentlemen. Stage 22 is Will and Grace. That show took an 11-year hiatus. The cast only aged 5 years. That's something that only happens in Hollywood. But everything they need to produce that show is housed in the building. That's why NBC and Jennifer Lopez's dance competition series World of Dance shot right next door on Stage 23. Let's get to the fun part, guys. We're crossing into the back lot now. We shoot the big stuff out here, exterior scenes on a grand scale. Now, movies are based on illusions, at least in part. These Metropolitan sets are a great example of just that. They may appear to be built out of brick and stone, but they're actually made of faux rubber and fiberglass over metal and wood frames. We call them facades. Over here on your right is Brownstone Street. That was home to Jim Carrey and Bruce Almighty.
It's the dog! In the shower!
outside flavor. Oh, you're done. B-E-A-U.
And I'm sure many of you are going to recognize the area we're turning into now. I'd like to welcome you all to Courthouse Square, otherwise known as Hill Valley, from Back to the Future, starring Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. The City Hall facade over here on your left is the clock tower from Back to the Future.
Actually, the back lot of Courthouse Square that inspired the entire climax to Back to the Future.
I had scenes up on the clock tower on that ledge. It was a ledge about that wide. And I was standing inside looking at the ledge, and I already had vertigo. I just thought there's no way in the world, no way I'm going to stand on that. I was up there for quite a while. Of course, I had a cable.
Before this was called Courthouse Square, it was actually Mockingbird Square, because it was Macon, Alabama, for To Kill a Mockingbird, for which Gregory Peck earned an Academy Award in 1963. Here's some Hollywood history for you. We're going to leave small town America behind, the big city. We're turning down New York Street, guys. This one comes complete with its own Park Terrace Hotel, its own theater district, and its own Macy's. Recently shot on the street, American Ninja Warrior. Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. Lane Johnson, Jason Statham, Idris Elba, Helen Mirren. Pink's new video, Walk Me Home, shot on the street. Elizabeth Moore. Incredible voice, and incredible athlete, too. She's like half pop star, half athlete. Fantastic. This blue glass building over here on your right is really cool. That's been designed so you can shoot towards it without getting the reflection of the camera in the glass. See how it's angled? We can't talk about New York without somebody who really knows the town. So, once again, here's Jim Fallon.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. What's got bugged over there? That old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? Just like old times. Gotta love New York City.
I'm walking here.
Okay, it's cool guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
Also shot on the street, The Amazing Spider-Man, starring Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone, and Captain America, the First Avenger, with Chris Evans and Tommy Lee Jones. Remember the scene where Steve Rogers, a.k.a. Captain America, goes from scrawny guy with a big heart to brawny guy with a big heart after they inject him with the super soldier serum. There's a great chase up and down the street where he's barefoot chasing a taxi cab. Not because he needs a ride or anything, there's a villain in the cab. We had this street restaurant in the 1940s, well, the period cars and the extras, all the period wardrobe and hairstyles. Even though we call this New York Street, it's appeared as many other cities as well. Like Washington, D.C. and XXX2, State of the Union, Sam Jackson and Ice Cube. It's Los Angeles and Michael Bay's Transformers, Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox, where the scene where Optimus Prime and the U.S. Marines square off against Megatron and the Decepticons. All right, guys, we're going to say goodbye to the concrete jungle of our metropolitan sets and say hello to the prehistoric jungle of Skull Island. Here's King Kong director Peter Jackson to lead the way.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old. I like films that just take you away from real life and super King Kong does his own from ship is over to Lost Island and your camera of monsters and creatures from prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island. It was great to have yet. Just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
All right, guys. Now hang on to those 3D glasses. You don't have to wear them right now. In fact, I'd actually prefer that you did, because to be perfectly honest, it sort of freaks me out if you're not staring at the glasses on. But you hang on to them. I have a feeling we're going to be needing them a little bit later on today. Now, King Kong 360 3D was brought to Universal Studios Hollywood by Red Digital and Peter Jackson, the Academy Award-winning director. That epic battle we just witnessed was created using some of the most advanced technology in filmmaking today and projected on some of the world's largest 3D screens, standing 40 feet tall and 180 feet long.
Studio tour, the audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking in all directions. There's creatures coming at them. They're seeing Kong from this side and T-Rexes from the other side. Working on a movie, we always know people are looking straight ahead. They're looking at the shot that we're working on. Here, you have to take into account that people are looking in all directions. Also, one of the things about this one means the least we're looking at, there's no cuts because it's one giant shot. This tram that's driving along through Skull Island is where the camera's from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away. We're really creating about 50 minutes of a feature film. That amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience, it's a hell of a ride.
A heck of a ride indeed. Now during King Kong 360 3D, a portion of this tram was pulled into the movie. When it was, it became a picture car. A picture car is any vehicle on a set that is seen by the camera, and sometimes they become just as famous as the stars who drive them. Look out! Or the stars who get driven over by them, for that matter. And over the years, picture cars have become bigger, badder, and faster. as audiences embrace their need for speed. Who do you think we're going to race, the Magnum PI Ferrari or the Knight Rider Cobra? Well, smart money's in the Cobra because the Ferrari is actually a Ferrari body over a Volkswagen engine. The Ferrari engine was just too loud for the Magnum PI sound department, so they had to change it out. Got some time traveling options for you. Now these Flintstones cars just tricked out golf carts, pardon me. I'd like to play the PGA Tour in one of those. But we can't talk about picture cars without talking about the most successful franchise in Universal's history, the Fast and the Furious films. That Nissan Skyline is the one Paul Walker drove for the opening race of Too Fast, Too Furious. Plymouth Roadrunner was cited when Vin Diesel squared off against Jason Statham with a very deadly game of chicken in Furious 7. Now this tank from Michael Bay's Transformers is about 75% comprised of plywood. When it comes to building sets and things for movies, guys, if it's wood, it's good. It's light, it's easy to work with. Right production design, you can make it look like anything. Metal, marble, brick, you name it. Most importantly, it goes up fast and it comes down fast. When it comes to making movies, time is always the essence. All right, anybody recognize this camouflage Mercedes coming up on the right? I'll give you a hint.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
All these sets and vehicles coming up were used in Steven Spielberg's original Jurassic Park films. This is the Mobile Lab that dangled precariously from that parking structure we drove past earlier. It was made up to look like a massive cliff face for this scene. This Mobile Lab's coming up on the left. That's how it always starts. But then later there's running and screaming. That's Groucho, Harpo, Zeppo, and Chico, four of the friendliest dinosaurs you're ever going to want to meet. Let's say hello to Dinosaur, by the way, with projectile vomiting. It's chock full of vitamin D and very good for your skin. So. Alright guys, now weather played a really important role in the Jurassic Park movies, creating just the right mood and atmosphere. Weather effects have always been kind of tricky here in Hollywood because most of the time we have sunshine. So filmmakers have to create weather. We'll have a look at some of the ways they do it.
Hi everybody, here's today's forecast for the Universal backlot. It's going to be sunny and dry in 6 Points, Texas. Cool and cloudy in Little Europe. Expect snow and sleet on New York Street. And we've got a high chance of 5 in precipitation for Skull Island, Amity Island, and Island Wall. That's your forecast for today. Now here's a look at what's going on in your neighborhood.
This is Old Mexico, shot down here in the Showtime series Shameless. And comedy classics like Three Amigos and Nacho Libre. Hey, we got some rain. Looks like Al's forecast is right on the money. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, rain is created by an overhead sprinkler hidden from view. We just shoot water straight up in the air and let it fall naturally like rain. The problem is when we get too much rain, it can lead to disaster in the form of flash floods, and well, we've got one headed right for us. over, ladies and gentlemen. If you're sitting in one of the blue seats, well, you may get wet on the tour today. That flood was caused by dumping thousands of gallons of recycled water from large tanks on the hill. Here's what it looks like from actor Paul Giamatti's point of view in the comedy Big Fat Liar.
You can't outrun the wolf, kid! Yeah, we'll see about that.
Now we're taking you back across the border and back in time to the Old West. I'd like to welcome you all to a little town by the name of Six Points, Texas. Just about every famous cowboy there ever was on these dusty streets at one time or another. It always looked larger than life. Part of that had to do with the way we built these sets. Take a look around, you'll notice some of the doorways seem much smaller than they ought to be. That's so when our actors stood in them, they looked bigger and brawnier than they actually were. We also made some doorways much bigger, so some of our actors would appear more vulnerable. But the reason we call this street 6 Points is because it has 6 points, 6 corners. And back in the days of silent film when sound wasn't really an issue, each corner had its own bank, its own saloon, and its own jail. So we could actually shoot 6 different westerns on this street at the same time. More recently shot on Wild West sets, the 9th film from director Quentin Tarantino, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Opens this week, opens on Friday. Stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Dakota Fanning, Al Pacino, incredible cast. They shot all over our Wild West sets. But in the heyday of the Western, these sets were wall-to-wall action. Alright guys, we're just past the halfway point, now about 60% here coming out of 6 Points. Just want to remind everybody to remain seated at all times. If you drop your cell phone, you just can't wait to use the restroom. Reach up and pull that red cord and get my attention. I'll come back and help you out. But please remain seated on the tram. Alright guys, this Tranquil Lagoon over here on the left is the original Black Lagoon from the cult classic The Creature from the Black Lagoon. While on the subject of creature features, just up ahead of us is Little Europe, where we invented the monster movie with classics like Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman, and the Mummy. Right now it's doubling as The Afterlife, or The Good Place, starring Ted Danson and Kristen Bell. And just up ahead of us at stage 50, we shot some key scenes from the series Bones, starring David Boreanaz and Emily Deschanel. Bones is kind of CSI meets a romantic comedy. It ran for 12 seasons, so it was just a little successful. But it did wrap, so we get to go inside and have a look around. I'm going to pull up a clip to see what we shot in here, so you guys have a point of reference as we go in. Even though Bones is set in Washington, D.C., this is best to be a subway station underneath the Embarcadero Plaza. All right, guys, from one natural disaster to another of sorts, we're heading into Amity Island, a lovely little tourist town that was once terrorized by a man-eating Great White shark. Locals have a name for it, Jaws. As you can see, the shark has been caught. There's a diver in the scene right now doing the final sweep of the harbor. Suffering sequels. There's another shark out there. Oh no, there's a diver in the water. Oh, that's gotta hurt. We still have a chance to catch that shark. There's some bait tied to the end of that yellow barrel out there. If he takes it, we'll snag him. He's taking the bait. He's taking the whole dock. Remember, campers, gas and electricity, a lethal combination. Christian and I have all day, folks, watching you watch the shark. It's the screams that keep us going. You've just come face to face with Bruce the Shark. He was named after director Steven Spielberg's lawyer, with love, of course, but as you can see, he's the only shark around that swims backwards, which is, I think it's pretty impressive. Bruce the Shark just as much of a terror off screen as he was on. In fact, the first day of filming Jaws, Bruce sank to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, prompting the cast and crew to nickname the production Bob. Not working. Amity Island also doubled as Cabin Cove in the series Murder, She Wrote, starring Angela Lansbury. So that's Cabin Cove evidence out there by the dock. Coming up on your left, ladies and gentlemen, is Elm Street. It's where Jason Bateman and Charlize Theron lived in Hancock, written by Peter Berg. Where Eric Bana lived in Pulp, written by Ang Lee. We go back over to the right. This one is Chicken Ranch, built in 1982. It's been used in countless productions. It's a practical set, which means we can shoot inside and outside. The walls inside come apart and move around, making room for our cameras and equipment. Back over here on your left is Colonial Street, otherwise known as Wisteria Lane for ABC's Desperate Housewives. That greenhouse there, 1312, is the house from Matlock, starring Andy Griffith. And that brings us into our wilderness area, guys. Picture Sandra Bullock out here with a blindfold on. They shot pickups with Bird Box out here. As well as scenes from 911 with Peter Krause and Angela Bassett. Those are very realistic style neighborhoods and locations. Sometimes we get the call to do something a little bit more wild. And that's what faced Ron Howard and his production team, where they designed the Whoville sets for Dr. Seuss and the Grinchville Christmas. We're heading for Whoville.
One of the biggest creative challenges that we faced on How to Write a Christmas was to bring the story of Dr. Seuss to life. Some of the most talented artists in the world were not amongst
just some of the sets we used to shoot Dr. Seuss How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Welcome to Whoville.
You're a bad banana with a greasy black wig.
Over 2 million linear feet of styrofoam was used to create all of Whoville, and enough artificial snow to cover 9 football fields. Special effects makeup artist Rick Baker won an Academy Award dressing up Jim Carrey to be the Grinch. First time the process took 8 hours. Carrey said it was like being buried alive in green yak fur. He almost didn't finish the movie. Well, the people of Whoville had more than just that Grinch to contend with, because they lived right next door to Norman Bates. These are 2 of the most famous sets in Hollywood, the Bates Motel and the Psycho House from Hitchcock's Psycho. And Mrs. Bates is still up in the window, but don't bother waving. She's always in a rough mood.
We all go around that sometimes.
Now, when Hitchcock released Psycho in 1960, he had a difficult time getting it past the censor's office because of this infamous shower scene. And they were shocked and demanded he make changes. But he knew after they'd seen it once, they'd be slightly desensitized to it. So he sat on the footage for a couple of weeks and then resubmitted it without changing a thing. This time, they accepted the footage. They even sent him a nice note thanking him for making those changes he never actually made. Pretty savvy operator. And the Psycho House looks a little bit small. It's because it's a 3/4 scale. It was built that way so Norman would look bigger and more menacing when he stood in the doorway. And just beyond the Psycho House, one of the most impressive sets ever created, the spectacular crash site from Steven Spielberg's War of Worlds, starring Tom Cruise, Dakota Fanning. This is all that's left of the neighborhood they hide out in. That's a real plane, by the way. A real 747, destroyed just for this scene. Production picked it up for $60,000, which is a pretty good price for a working 747. The catch was it cost over $200,000 to get it here, and it was less than 80 miles away. It's always the shipping and handling that gets you.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around the vision that Steven had.
We first began to sit down and talk about War of the World. I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep pressing me. Listen now. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Sit down closed. Bobby, get in. Get in.
Guys, we're about 10 minutes out now. I'm going to have you back at the theme park in no time. Just want to remind everybody to pull that cord if you need assistance and remain seated. If I could live anywhere in Southern California, it would be in this rustic log cabin coming up on the right, where they shot scenes from Deja Vu with Denzel Washington and Shooter with Mark Wahlberg. But the really spectacular thing about this cabin is its view, because behind it lies Falls Lake, the largest freestanding background in Hollywood. Where Tom Hanks evacuated an A320 on the Hudson River in Clint Eastwood's Sully. Evacuate. Now, Falls Lake is a series of pools with different levels of depth that we can fill and drain. So we put the shell of an aircraft out there, raise the water level up, add some actors and stunt personnel. The New York skyline in the background was actually put in post-production. It's computer-generated imagery, or CGI. All right, guys, you've been pretty much through the entire filmmaking process now. There's only one thing left to do. We want to immerse you into a movie. Everybody stay seated. In fact, hold on tight, because we're all about to become characters in The Fast and the Furious.
Studio tour. Looks like we might have an issue. I'm patching you into Agent Novak of the FBI.
Look, this might be more serious than I thought. What'd you say?
This is a secure bomb.
I'll tell you who I am, boy. I'm the reason bad guys use a nightlight. I'm the reason the boogeyman makes his mama look under his bed. And I'm the reason you just lost control of this whole operation. My name is Special Agent Luke Hobbs of the U.S. Diplomatic Security
One, there's a high-value witness from the Federal Protection Program aboard your vehicle. And two, an international crime syndicate led by Owen Shaw is honing in on this vehicle to take that witness out. Shaw's as ruthless as they come. He'll stop at nothing to eliminate his target. Every living soul on this vehicle is in serious danger. Other than that, enjoy the ride.
All right, folks, here, and we don't want to shell on our tail. We're going to put on that guest list of the Roman fish
FBI, don't move. Deal? That's right, party's over. You know how long I took to iron your shirt? You're under arrest right now. Ladies, let's back up a little bit. Got it. It's like that. First of all, I don't work for you. Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for? We don't work for nobody. How much is just clear out here, otherwise we can't get into your safety. Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun. Never mind, a whole lot bigger than yours. Escort this balance out. Let's go, Cookie Puss. That ugly Cyril, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family protects you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm gonna go to the
So I'm talking about...
Okay, that. It was on vibrate. Short trace us. I just can't hold it forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Try to move that vehicle.
Oh, we're moving all right.
It's about to get real interesting. The Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Roman truck. I need you to let me go.
Folks, I think you better put on those bullet glasses again for protection, just in case.
Speak now, or you won't get fried. This is our turn. Okay, guys, it's showtime! I got the bull by the horn! Now we're moving. No, look out! You give me the witness to the I'm not company! Way to go, Lenny. Don't climb up the missile shot. Not gonna happen. Don't worry, I got this. Roman, don't shoot. Head with the bridge. Under construction. Everybody hold on. In the nitrous. My God.
Now, my Mona Lisa got messed up a little bit, but
us out of there in one piece. King Kong for rescuing us from the jaws of the T-Rex. My co-host Jimmy Fallon for providing some laughs, and you guys for coming along with us today. Now, to get the most out of your time here, make sure you download the official Universal Studios Hollywood app to get show times, wait times, and up-to-minute park information. I confirm the park closes tonight at 10 p.m. And we hope you visit us again soon, guys. Jurassic World, a brand new ride, just opened this summer, and they have a new attraction based on the secret life of pets. Be opening next year. About 100 years ago, an entrepreneur named Carl Lemley brought his movie company West and bought this land, which at the time was a chicken ranch, because they wanted to make movies that would make people sit on the edge of their seat. And now, a century later, we're still doing just that. There's some events up ahead for those 3D glasses. Do me a favor, don't copy designer sunglasses in there instead. Okay, that happens way more often than you might think. If you have any questions or comments, I'll be hanging out by the studio directory. Have a great rest of the day here at Universal Studios Hollywood, the entertainment capital of LA. Like we say in the movies, that's a wrap.